You're watching KSL Sports Live.
Hey, happy Father's Day weekend to all who celebrate. I'm sure you'll get that smoker rolling pretty soon, right? But for now, how about you just pull up your favorite chair, relax with us for the next few minutes after a week off. Real Salt Lake, they're back on the pitch tonight. Will their unbeaten streak continue? And Utah quarterback Cam Rising's on the football field this weekend. We'll show you why, and we'll hear from him coming up. Plus, we have an exclusive KSL Sports conversation with Utah Hockey Club's Sean Durzi on the way. But we start off with a Father's Day weekend tradition, the U.S. Open, the most difficult of the four major golf tournaments each year. The greens always roll fast, the roughs always grow thick, and the courses always run very long. Low scores, those are tough to come by. After 2 rounds, Tony Finau's at 3 under par, but that's tied for 5th, and it's just 2 back of the leader. On Saturday, can Tony make a push for that top spot in round number 3? Well, he sure did. After a par on the opening hole, he lines up this 11-footer for birdie, which is dead center. Falls to 4 under, 1 off the lead. Over to the 5th now. Finau has a chance at a long eagle and a share of the lead. These greens are fast and unforgiving. Finau reads it near perfectly, setting up the easy birdie to move to 5 under, still 1 back. Now, after a bogey on 6, Finau is at the tee on 9, still 1 back of the lead, and he comes through because this tee shot hits the perfect part of the green to get this assist. The green funnels the ball back towards the cup. He's within about 6 feet of the hole. That would set up Tony's 3rd birdie of the day. This one to move into a 3-way tie for the lead at 5 under. Over to the par 5 10th. Finau's off the green, 48.5 feet from the cup. We've seen Finau using his putter on these shots all tournament long, and he nearly delivers the birdie, 2 inches away to save par. Things did start to go south, though, and it started on 12. Finau's long par putt skirts past the cup. He knows the fallout from that. He falls 2 back of the lead. Then on 13, some serious trouble. His approach just will not sit down. It's going to roll back and roll off the green, well off the green. So once again, he's going to pull out that putter, but this time it backfires. Rolls past the cup and down into the bunker. Then from the bunker, past the cup, right back over the other side of the green again. Watch it roll. Yep, right off the green again. So this time, he's going to pull out the wedge, and he gets it up on the green. But 2 putts later, he triple bogeys to fall all the way back to 1 under. He would par the final 5 holes, I should say, but he's still in it. He's tied for 7th. Former BYU Cougar Zach Blair started the day 1 under, tied for 9th, but already on his 2nd hole of the day. His approach, this one also cannot sit on the green. The green spits his ball right back to the fairway. He would bogey the hole, finish 5 over for the round. He's tied for 25th. This was Bryson DeChambeau who made the charge in round number 3. Bends in the pretty putt on 7. That birdie moves him to 5 under. Then on the 11th, long and straight, another birdie putt drops his score to 7 under. He would improve to 8 under before a double bogey on 16, but how's this for a bounce back? Birdies 17, and DeChambeau leads after 3 rounds at 7 under. 3-shot lead for him heading into Sunday's final round. All right, 13 straight matches without a loss. A streak that is just 1 short of the Real Salt Lake Club record for an unbeaten streak, but RSL has been off for 2 weeks. Would the layoff provide an added boost of energy, or would it cool that streak down? Real Salt Lake on the road against CF Montreal. 14th minute. Anderson Julio on the break. He's going to do a little step over with the left foot, take a shot with the right, but he just misses that far post. A few minutes later, Montreal right in front of the goal. A heater in front of Zach McMath, who makes a nice diving save. 21st minute, Julio to Chicho Arango. The left-footed shot deflected off target. Just a bit too late there. First half stoppage time. Chicho on the free kick into the box. Bodie Hidalgo can't quite get the head on it. That's not Chicho on the free kick. But RSL had a couple of chances. We go to half 0-0. Second half, RSL didn't take long to get another chance on offense. Anderson Julio, he's going to have a chance at goal here. Puts another one on target, but it's also saved. So currently the game is still scoreless. We are midway into the second half. All right, here we are in June. And is it any surprise that the New York Yankees are doing what they're doing? Ty's not surprised. Winners in 13 of their last 16. They became the first team in the Bigs to reach 50 wins on the season. Aaron Judge has 8 home runs in that stretch. He now leads the league with 25 on the season. Today, the Yankees looking for 2 in a row against their rivals, the Red Sox. Bottom of the first, Boston's Tyler O'Neill lines a double off the green monster. That drives in Jarren Duran. Gives the Red Sox the early 1-0 lead. Top of the second, B.J. LeMahieu singles to right. It's a 2-run hit. Bottom of the second, Boston's Rafael Devers, though, slashes a 2-run double into left center. The Red Sox extend their lead to 5-3 with that, and they are currently in the 6th inning with the Red Sox on top. The Guardians are the best home team in baseball, but today they're on the road against the Blue Jays. Bottom of the second, Blue Jays' George Springer singles to center, driving in Justin Turner, and the Jays have that 1-0 lead. Still in the 2nd inning, Spencer Horwitz adds a single to left, scoring Springer. They're up 3-0, and the Blue Jays hang on for the shutout, 5-0. In the National League, Mets have won 4 in a row, longest streak in baseball, hosting the Padres. Top of the 4th, Fernando Tatis Jr. into foul territory, but watch Brandon Nimmo reaching over the wall to make the grab. Still 4th inning, check out Francisco Lindor's glove. Reaches up the middle for the stop. The backhand flip to second for the out. What a play. And then J.D. Martinez, he provided the power at the plate. Hit homers in both the 4th and 7th innings, and the Mets win 5-1. Marlins Nationals in D.C. Bottom of the 3rd, Lane Thomas. Solo homer to center field. That gives them the 2-0 lead. Then in the 5th inning, DJ Hurst, he was on a roll. Strikes out Jesus Sanchez, then strikes out Dana Myers. 13th strikeout already in the game. In the 8th inning, Joey Meneses, 2-run homer to put the Nationals up 4-0 and to put the game out of reach. The Nats get the win over the Marlins. Back to the American League, the Astros hosting the Tigers. Top of the 1st, Detroit's Matt Verling knocks one deep to left center field, and that one clears the wall. Solo shot to put Detroit up 1-0. Very next batter, Riley Green, deep to left. Will that carry? Yes, it will. Back-to-back jacks, and Green wasn't done. Top of the 2nd, crushes this one for the 3-run shot, his 2nd homer of the day. The Tigers taking the 7-0 lead. They stomped the Astros 13-5. Utah quarterback Cam Rising, he's got a lot to focus on these days. He overcame a serious knee injury and has resumed his place as Utah's team leader in the huddle. A player expected to lead Utah in contention for a conference title in its first year of Big 12 football. But none of that will keep him from an opportunity like this one that he had this weekend, holding his Rising Stars football camp. This weekend at Harriman High School for kids age K through 12, they taught kids on position drills and group instruction, but also emphasized the importance of life skills like sportsmanship, teamwork, and the value of education. On Friday, they also gave kids with special needs a chance to have their very own time and own camp with Rising, focused all on them. All the proceeds from this camp, they were donated to the Harriman Ute Conference and to the For the Kids Foundation.
Well, I've been just blessed to be in the state of Utah, really, and just have such a great following, and everybody, all the Utes fans, like, they always come out and show so much support for us. So just doing this, giving back to the community in any way you can.
We had a football camp for our special needs children. We had football toss, and they got to play with the jumping and playing with them, taking pictures with them.
It's surreal to be in this position. I remember just being a camper back a long time ago now, but it's crazy to be on this side, just having people look up to you and everything like that. I just appreciate it, and I'm just glad to be in this position.
When I found out he was going to be here, I just was amazed. I thought he was amazing with all the children.
I just want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity. Football is sometimes only for a select few, and when you can invite more people to be involved with football, it just expands the horizon for football and just make sure everybody gets that opportunity. And I'm glad we just finished it up right now, and it was a great time with the 12th man. Hopefully we get to do that again with them. It was a great time.
Really cool stuff there. Well, even after a capacity crowd at Delta Center that welcomed an NHL team to Utah, Ryan and Ashley Smith didn't actually own an NHL hockey team. That wasn't until this past Thursday. That's when the transaction finally became official. And with that, Smith Entertainment Group has established a temporary name for the team that will begin this fall, the Utah Hockey Club. And their first big reveal, the team colors and uniforms that will be used when the puck drops in September. The colors, rock black, representing the darkness of night in the mountains and the volcanic rock of the desert. Salt white, representing the snow and the salt flats. And mountain blue, repping Utah's winter sports tradition and blue skies. 5 different marks also and logos will be used this season. And these are the jerseys, the home black and the road whites, both with Utah stepping down from the front. You'll be able to buy Utah Hockey Club gear for the first time at the NHL Draft Party on June 28th.
It's exciting now that, more people in a new state are able to watch hockey.
And we have an exclusive conversation with Utah Hockey Club's Sean Durzi on the way, and we'll take a look at some of the prospects that the Jazz could possibly take in the draft this month.
Coach Let's itching to call some pass plays and let us spin the ball around.
Cam Rising looks ahead to this upcoming season in the Big 12. What he told us about this group of Utes coming up next. Well, the Utah Hockey Club will have 13 picks in this month's NHL draft, spread across 7 rounds. It all starts on the 28th with 1 first-round pick, the 6th overall pick in the draft. What direction will GM Bill Armstrong go with that first pick that Utah makes? Well, Carter Yakimachuk, he is an interesting prospect for the NHL. He has size and physicality at 6'3", makes good use of his reach, and has a mean streak on the boards. You love that about a defenseman. He's projected to fall somewhere between 8 and 12 in the draft. If they look for offense, an excellent center prospect is Berkeley Ketton. He had a dominant performance in the Linka Greddy Cup back in the summer, leading the tournament in goals with 8, and he had 10 points in that tournament as well for Spokane. All right, whatever young defenseman, defensive talent or offensive talent the Utah Hockey Club brings in later this month, especially if it's defense, they're going to be looking to the leadership of Sean Durzi, who is entering his 4th season in the NHL. Durzi's still young, but he's gained experience that can only come through hard work and patience. We had a chance to catch up with him in the Utah Puck Report podcast.
So we sit through the first draft, and when the draft finished, I was crushed. I thought it'd be okay. I was pretty crushed for the first little bit, and then I was motivated. And then the next year, I had a really good year. I had a really good summer. I kind of scraped the board clean and said, what do I got to work on? What do I got to get better? And I put everything into it, and I was lucky enough, the next year in 2018, the draft you're talking about, to get picked in the second round to Toronto, which was, it was a great experience. And I think we sat through the first round, and I kind of looked over at my parents and I said, this is kind of feeling a little bit like last year. And I wasn't expecting to be a first rounder, but I was, still kind of getting that PTSD a little bit of I might not get picked this year too. You never know. So I think just being picked was a relief for myself. And then in the next coming weeks is when you realize, being picked to a market like Toronto was pretty crazy, especially growing up there.
Utah needs to know what they're getting out of Sean Durzi. Are you, tell us what kind of player you are and what role you're going to fill. Yeah, well,
I'm a right shot defenseman. In LA, I played both sides, the left, and even last year I played right and left defense. I was always known in junior hockey as a power play guy and coming up through the ranks there. And in the NHL, I was lucky enough to play power play right away with LA. But I think I've taken a lot of pride in my ability to kind of play both sides of the puck now. I think this year having the opportunity to defend against top lines around the league, challenge myself to see how well I can shut them down while still producing, on the offensive side of the puck.
Have you ever been to Utah before?
I have. I was lucky enough to play a game there with LA 2 or 3 years ago. I played in that Frozen Fury game.
But so you're one of the few guys that got to play in the Delta Center. Have you told other people what it's like, or can you tell us what the experience is like for, one of the only NHL guys that's played in the Delta Center?
It was a competitive game because of the atmosphere, to be honest with you. You can tell that, people were excited about having hockey in that building. And for a preseason game, it was one of our rivals. We did play against Vegas at the time. And, you can tell that it was there was an energy in there, and it was pretty cool to have that energy in a state that didn't have hockey at the time. So that was exciting for Utah to get those games, in the preseason, and just to see the action live. It's so much different than watching it on TV. It's you hear the glass banging and you hear guys yelling and the crowd's going crazy, and that atmosphere is kind of what I think gravitates a lot of people towards it and catches people's attention and quite honestly makes people fall in love with the game. So I think that's cool, and it's exciting now that more people in a new state are able to watch hockey.
Over to the WNBA, the New York and Las Vegas playing for a chance to advance to the Commissioner Cup Championship. First half, Kelsey Plum steps back into the three. She finished with 22. Third quarter, Sabrina Ionescu gets the hook shot to go. She had 15 points and 12 assists. In the fourth, Ionescu finds Jonquel Jones for the dagger three. Jones finished with 33 points. The Liberty advanced to play the Minnesota Lynx in the Commissioner Cup Championship. Only 8 times in Utah Jazz history have they selected in the top 10 of the NBA draft. In less than 2 weeks, they'll do it again with the 10th overall pick in this year's draft. And they'll have plenty of options with that pick, of course. They have 3 picks in the top 32. Serbian guard Nikola Topic is a projected lottery pick. The 6'7" guard was considered a top 10 pick, but he could slide after it was revealed earlier this month that he has a partially torn ACL. However, if healthy, he's seen as one of the top playmakers in the draft. Has excellent court vision and averages 14.5 points and 5.5 assists per game. Topic is just 18 years old. Cal guard Jalen Tyson is expected to be taken later in the first round, where the Jazz have the 29th pick. Tyson's a 21-year-old do-it-all guard that averaged 19.6 points and 6.8 rebounds per game last season. One of his best skills is his three-point shooting. He averaged 38% from downtown on 4 3-point attempts per game. Providence guard Devin Carter is projected to be taken in the latter half of the lottery. From a stat standpoint, he's easy to fall in love with. 19.7 points, 8.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists per game as a 6'3" guard. The Big East Player of the Year saw his three-point shooting improve from 29% as a sophomore to 37% last season. As a guard, he would be more of a complimentary ball handler than a true point guard. We've got a lot more to come right after this. Football team expects a lot out of Cam Rising this fall. That's no surprise. He's the unquestioned team leader, both in the locker room and on the field. He's led the Utes to back-to-back conference championships and Rose Bowl appearances before missing last season with an injury. But he's back, and this fall, the expectations are high once again, even in a new conference. The Utes will be contenders for the Big 12 title. It helps that Rising has talented options to throw the ball to, like Brant Keithy, Money Parks, and transfer wide receiver Dorian Singer. Mekhi Bernard and Jalen Glover are also back in the offensive backfield. It's a roster makeup that has Rising excited to run it back with the Utes this fall.
Oh, I'm excited. There's some playmakers in the receiver room. Just the pass catches in general right now are at an all-time high for Utah, I think. And just, I know Coach Led's itching to call some pass plays and let us spin the ball around the field. So I think it's just going to be a good season for the Utes. And I know the defensive side is always going to be good because of Coach Galley and the defensive staff.
Always bet on the Utes defense. After a 1-goal loss last week against the Denver Outlaws, the Utah Archers back on the field today against Carolina Chaos. Second quarter, Carolina's Eric Dobson gets the goal to go off Archer's stick, and they take a 5-2 lead. Under 2 minutes left in the second quarter, Mac O'Keefe gets the game-tying goal to make it 5-all at the half. And then in the fourth, with the game tied at 7, Connor Fields with the behind-the-back goal to take the lead. And that's the winner. Archers take it. Instagram and check out Sandburger's BBQ for all your Father's Day cuisine ideas. We'll see you tonight at 10.